just
Oh my god, you can't bring this shit up right now.
Threw
We're
'em.
like live.
threw
Oh,
him.
man.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kangz Council, episode 18. Welcome to the podcast that is releasing all its post-content DLC for free. That being said, gotta introduce the homies and preparing himself for an unbeatable court case, replacing himself in all evidence with AI. We got TV Despair. TV Despair.
Yo.
Of course, the homie that's checking with his optometrist to have LASIK surgery designed to see more frames. FallaYoDreams.
Damn.
Well, thank you for telling me I have eye problems.
No, it's
Is she
not eye
above
problems.
30?
It's just,
Damn.
just genetically.
I'm
can't
just
see
genetically.
frames.
I'm
You can't
She
see
above 30, bro.
frames.
It's okay.
I can't do it, bro. Can't do it.
And of course, I have been continuing to make my own character design uglier day by day for the past 20 years. Your boy Freak187 here. Let's get straight to it, boys. Star Wars Outlaws. Ubisoft just announced their release schedule, their pre-order bonuses, and all of that. They caused a lot of rift on Twitter, on X, on whatever, on any social media platform, and the reason being is because the Ultimate Edition pre-order is $130. And what that includes for $130, what do you get for $130? You get a pre-order bonus pack for skins, or Kessel Runner bonus pack it's called, a digital art book, the game 3 days early, and 2 upcoming story pack DLCs, and then a couple of in-game cosmetics as part of the ultimate pack. So a lot of people are up in arms about this. I'm guessing because of the season pass on a single player game, but like that's also, it's just post-content DLC announced ahead of time. Like Capcom's been doing this for years, where they announce it's DLC on disc, right? Yeah, everyone's been doing this for years. I think this is just another case in the long line of games, and I guess the expense of it, because it's like story mission packs. My only issue with this is that you're attaching this onto a game where we don't even know if it's gonna be good. We don't even know what it's gonna be. It's I think they're banking on, if you ask me, I think they're banking on the fact that it's a Star Wars IP, so that people are gonna, they're counting on the fan to just blindly pre-order and say, yeah, I'm gonna play this game, I'm gonna love this game, and I'm gonna get everything for it, and pre-order that most expensive pack just to get all the story packs. And I think sure, like if they want to do that, they want to bank on the Star Wars IP, that's one thing to do, that's one way to go about it. The thing is, I think this is just like a kind of like an unknown game. Just getting the vibes from it, like it could potentially be good, but it could also just be dead trash. And then that post content, you got people already planned and people working for. I think you should just wait to announce DLC after the initial reception of the game, right? Because isn't DLC supposed to be like post content, right? Like post content.
This is
DLC.
how you get people. That's just how you get people to, I guess, and it's how you justify the price tag, right? The price of admission, right?
Yeah.
It's you. Okay, we're going to be supporting this game for the next year or whatever. So if you choose to, pay that amount up front, you'll have this DLC later on in the game that, after you finish the game, you'll have more shit to do. But here's my thing, looking at the Ultimate Edition, right? I'm going to make 2 separate points. But
Okay.
the season pass is 2 DLCs, right? 2 DLCs, depending on how big they are, could be like $20, right? So let's say there's 2 DLC packs, $20, $40, right? So that's $110 right there, right? In total. If you choose to buy that or buy both of them separately or whatever, $110. Personally, I don't think that's bad, right? But all this other shit that makes it, how much is it altogether?
$130.
$130, right? Okay, so it's $110 if you buy the post-launch DLC stuff that might come out, right? And then you have some cosmetic shit and 3-day early access for what, an extra $20, right? I personally don't think cosmetics are worth $20 and 3-day early access are worth $20. But if you think about it, what DLC is yeah, we have DLC that ranges from in price, right? $10, $15, $20. Expansions could be like $30-$40, right? How much is the Elden Ring DLC? Do we know how much is that again? I don't remember. It's got to be like $40-$50, right?
Yeah, but that's expansive.
Yeah,
we know that's going to be expansive.
We know it. Well, that's because of their history, right? It's not fair to say that we know it's going to be worth $40. We assume it is because, Elden Ring was good and we have faith in them. But we don't know if it's going to be worth $40, right?
No, that's true.
It most likely will, but we don't know that. These two DLC packs, we don't know if they're going to be worth $20, right? They could be. And they might justify the price. So my thing is, you have a choice to buy this. My thing is, you always have a choice to buy these things. If you don't want it, just get the base game. No one is saying, my thing is, no one is saying, I'm not justifying DLC. I think it's bullshit anyway. But no one is saying you have to spend $130 to play the game. Nobody's saying that. Who's saying that? And why is this the narrative that, oh man, what is this entry? What is this $130 that I have to pay for games? Remember when they were just 60, 70? It's still $70. What the fuck?
Yeah.
The game is $70. Yeah. Unless if someone wants to tell me differently, the base game is $70. And we don't know the narrative behind DLC most of the time from like I guess the majority of people think this. When they make you buy DLC, they're taking away from the base game, right? There have been situations where that is the case, right? But there haven't been that many situations where we've seen them remove content from the base game just to put it in DLC later. We don't always see that. We do see it, but we don't always see that for this to be that big of a deal. I think it's more of a big deal because it's Ubisoft and everybody hates Ubisoft. So I think that's it. And lately, for some reason, people just want to hop on the hate train for everything, especially something that's big, right? The same thing happened with Hogwarts. It's a Star Wars, another huge IP is going to happen again. Like, I don't know. What is wrong with people? Every game has had a season pass for the past, maybe, a decade, maybe? Has it been a decade now?
So I don't understand the surprise.
Yeah, it's been a decade where we've had season passes. That's not justifying it or saying it's good or bad, but it's been a part of the industry for a decade now. Why is this game in particular, why is everyone making a big deal about it? When this is the most, look, I'm looking at the chart right now. This is the most basic and this is how it usually looks. This is how the charts for game releases usually look. You got the standard, which gets you the game. You got the gold, which just gets you the season pass and the early access. Then you got the big boy shit, right? That gives you all the other cosmetic extra stuff. Like, this is how every game is launched. What's the big deal? What's going on? What game hasn't launched like this? Am I missing something? I don't know. No. And that leads me back to the point. Most of these people complaining do not play video games. They just latch on to something and complain about it because everyone else is doing it. Like, that's it. You motherfuckers aren't gonna play this game. So what are you complaining about? Mostly, bruh. How many people you think complain they're gonna buy this game and play it? Not a lot.
No.
Everyone, all the Star Wars fans that thought this game looks cool. I think it looks cool. I'm gonna play it. It might be ass.
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna try it.
Looks. I mean, like, it looks cool. Like, it doesn't look like it's stuttering or anything like that, but it's almost like it's too good to be true. I mean, well, I'm looking at this like gameplay because I didn't see it. Honestly, I only saw the story trailer, so I didn't see any of the gameplay thing. But from there, it looked all right. But then my mind goes, "Oh, Ubisoft," and my mind also goes,
Avatar
released good. They've recently been doing better with releases for the past maybe 3 or 4 releases they've had.
Yeah, yeah, but the other thing you gotta understand is, I'm a Star Wars fan and I come with emotional damage.
Yeah,
from like even the most recent releases, right? So it's just like, if say I'm interested in $130, there's also a part of me that's like, okay, if it's released 3 days early, what's even the advantage of that when I know
a single player game
problems, right?
It's a single player game. Well, it's not like a fighting game or a competitive game, right? But you get a game early, you get an advantage. Maybe you'll level up faster than your friends that get it 3 days later, right? Or some shit like that. Or you'll have access to like a train to mow earlier, some shit like that. It's a single player game. What is 3-day early access gonna do? Nothing. What the fuck?
Maybe you'll have, if you have 3 days early access, it falls on the days where maybe you don't have to work, so you could dedicate more time to it. And that's your choice if you want to pre-order to get those early days.
Or you could just dedicate more time to it later.
Exactly. That's true too.
Like it's a single player game, it's not going anywhere. It's not like a multiplayer game. You don't got to catch up.
It releases,
Yeah, but that's not like a. That's a person by person thing. If I wanted to play a game 3 days early, cool, right? But 3 days is not like a week or 2 weeks or some shit like that. Like 3 days is a weekend. Like, come on, bro. I don't know. Yeah. I think that's silly. I feel like they put that in there because they knew 130 was crazy, and they wanted to add one more thing to kind of justify it.
Yeah.
But even the version below that gets the 3 days early access or whatever. But here's my thing, right?
I think the people are just most upset about. Sorry, I think people are most upset about the season pass and DLC content announcement. But it's like, if you don't want it, just don't buy it yet.
Why are we upset 10 years later?
Yeah.
Where were y'all? Why weren't y'all upset? I mean, I guess people were upset 10 years ago, but
yeah, they were.
But like, I don't know. It's like you're just beating a dead horse at this point.
They were, and I'll tell you right now, the Star Wars fans are not upset about it.
I'm not upset because this is what we've had.
I'm not upset because this is the reality, and I accept it.
Yeah, and I don't buy season. And hello, am I the only human being that uses their brain? I don't buy the season pass because I don't even know if I'm gonna be interested in the game by the time the DLC comes out. So I spend the $70. I play the base game. If I enjoy the game, I buy the DLC. If I enjoy the game, I'll buy the cosmetic shit separately or whatever. What's so bad about doing that? Like, how is that so hard to? How is that a concept that's so hard to grasp? You don't want to spend the extra money. Don't spend the extra money. Y'all just have like this FOMO. Like, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Who actually cares? Oh, it's such a childlike fucking thing to me. Was like, if you complain about something big too expensive, don't buy it, man.
Yeah.
Like, just don't spend the money. They're not saying you have to spend $130 to play the game. It's still $70, guys. It's $70 fucking dollars. Come on. Of course they're gonna want extra money from people. What the fuck? All right.
One of the best replies that I saw was, "I can't wait to buy this in November when it's 40."
Exactly.
And that's
there's nothing stopping me from doing that too.
Nothing stopping you from doing that. This is the thing. People honestly, like, I know, like, we've talked about how speaking with your wallet doesn't work, but ultimately, speak with your wallets not so much for what you want to see, but also for yourself.
Exactly.
Like, if you don't want to buy something because it's too expensive, then don't. Something like this, especially like since it's a new IP, it's Ubisoft. I'm gonna wait and see how it releases anyway. I'm nowhere near pre-ordering this game because I'm probably not going to touch it on release. And I'm going to wait and see how it performs, how it does, and how it goes. And if there's any issues or anything that needs to wait, then I may wait and play it. And then because they announce this is the thing, when devs announce post-release DLC, and they have like this whole what is it called? Like a whole plan of like release plan, a whole what is it? What's the term for that? Anyway, like they released this whole like schedule
roadmap.
Of what the roadmap of what they're gonna do with the game. Perfect, thank you. When they released a roadmap for something, all that does for me is it puts me off from buying it until all the content is released. Like a show.
Depends on the kind of game. Depends on the kind of game it is.
Piecemeal and not binge release, I may wait. Yeah, depending on the game. If it's a multiplayer game,
the only games that can get away with that are like multiplayer games. Yeah.
But a single player game, I'm absolutely waiting until maybe the first DLC drops to see if it's worth playing, and then possibly picking it up on a sale bundle or getting a Game of the Year edition that's going to include all the DLC later down the line for the original price of the game for $70.
Yeah, it's that FOMO, bro. People want to be a part of the fucking conversation, so they want to play the game day one, whatever. I used to be that guy. I mean, I still technically am, but I really don't. I lost interest in giving a fuck about playing shit day one or whatever, unless it's something that I just absolutely do not want people to spoil for me. So I have to play it early.
Right, but that list is short.
Yeah, exactly. There's not that many games that I care that much about. Yeah. My only thing is I understand the argument for a season pass for a single player game, right? I get it if you look at it from the surface, right? If you actually think about it, if you buy a season pass, you're basically pre-ordering DLC. That's basically what you're doing. So what's stopping you from just waiting and getting the DLC when the DLC comes out if you care about the game that much? What the fuck? Like, nothing. So on one hand, like, you shit on the season pass idea, but are you gonna buy it? Probably not. So if people have that much faith in the game where they want to pre-order a season pass, go ahead, do that. I'm never gonna do it because what's the point in doing it? Obviously, yeah, they have the deals where if you get the season pass early or whatever, you get like a discount or whatever, but who the fuck cares? By the time the DLC comes out, the base game is going to be on sale. I might as well just get both at the same time. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I never understood the big deal about shit like this. You either spend the money or you don't. You're not limited. I mean, of course, actually, now that I think about it, none of this DLC. This is post-launch, right? This is not going to be like anything that's like in the game when it launches.
No, it's post-launch.
So what
DLC.
the fuck? I don't get it, man. People, it's really hard nowadays to gauge whether people are seriously mad about things or if they're just mad because the internet is mad and they want to just add fuel to the fire and just So I don't know. I don't think people are actually mad about this.
Yeah, it's just like, man. You could pre-order the base game and get it 3 days early. You just don't get any of that extra content, which I'm sure you could probably unlock somewhere in the game. Like, and even if you can't, or like let's say it's the case of what's the case of the original DLC? It was the Iron Horse or something like that from, was it Skyrim or was it?
I don't remember.
It was like a horse DLC, which was the original microtransaction that started this whole mess. And people, the Warhorse DLC, something like if you Google Warhorse DLC, you'll know what I'm talking about. But that's what it initially started, this whole like DLC pre-order bonus whatever craze. And it's just like, if you don't want it, you don't want it. If you want it, get it. If you can get it in game, you can get it in game. Like Spider-Man 2 had a bunch of like pre-order bonus shit, but like if you can get all that stuff in game, if you just work to get it in game, so like you don't miss out on anything. That's just for people to get it ahead of time if they don't want to put in the work and put in the grind, or they just they're excited about something and maybe they want to provide a little extra support as well. Like you don't have to support it. Another thing people
like, I wouldn't even buy a season pass for a game that I love. I'm not like, if Elden Ring came out and it was like season pass, blah blah blah, I'm like, I'm good. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm gonna just buy the game when the DLC comes out. I know I'm gonna play it, so I'm gonna buy it when it comes out. What's the difference? Like, at the end of the day, let's say you love the game. Let's say you spend $70, right? Star Wars comes out, you love the game. Then 6 months later, the DLC pack comes out for $20, right? You spend $20 on the game. That's 90, right? Then another 6 months after that, you're like, wow, the last DLC was so great. I'm gonna buy the second one. That's another $20, right? So you just spent the money that you were just complaining about. Like you just bought it. Like you just spent that money. So why people are complaining about it? Because it's all front loaded. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the difference?
None.
That's like saying, what that's like saying to me? That's like going to the movies, right? You go to the movies, the price of the ticket is $20, right? But so instead of them charging you $20, I'm just making the point. So they charge you $20. Let's say they charge you $40, right? And that extra $20 is for whatever you spend on food or whatever included in that shit, right? So just because it's more than $20 that you were originally spending, and let's say you go to the movies and you're a person that always buys food at the movies, right? I don't usually, but let's say you always buy food at the movies. To me, that would be like, okay, fine, I'll just spend the extra $20, right? And I'll get the food or whatever included, cool. But people don't want to be told to spend that amount of money up front instead of having the choice, I guess, to fucking do it. I don't fucking know. It's like some artificial fucking hate that's coming out from people that's what it seems like. It seems like artificial hate because it kind of feels like they're kind of forcing it onto you, right? They're telling you out the gate it's $130 for all this shit, and they just throw it in your face instead of just throwing the game at you, right? Just throw the game at you first for $70, and then later telling you here's the DLC that's $20, and then you spend extra later. Isn't that what they used to do? I guess Elden Ring just did it, right? They didn't say, pre-order this DLC before the game comes out. They waited. They charge you $70 for the game. They waited until a few months ago to announce the DLC. I feel like that's the best way to do it without getting hate. Nowadays, you got to do that to not get hate.
Well, the thing is, and even on top of that, people were complaining, "Where's the DLC? How come there's no DLC?"
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. And I was one of them. I'm like, yo, where's the Elden Ring DLC? Right? People, bro, when they announced the Elden Ring DLC, people were complaining that it's too much. People are never happy. You're never gonna fucking satisfy anybody on the internet, bro.
And then those same people can't even beat the game, anyways.
Yeah, yeah, like whatever.
But yeah, I mean, look, all right, just taking my paranoia. Yeah, taking my paranoia out of it. A season pass does make sense within the context of the game, because if you're playing a bounty hunter, like, I don't know, playing a bounty hunter is super interesting in itself, because you could do a lot of shit regarding the universe that you can't really do if you're like a Jedi or a goody two shoes or something like that. So like, say the phrase, I don't know too much about the storyteller, but it seemed like it was more of like this one big heist. So the game is this one big heist, and then you gotta go on a number of missions or whatever to GTA this shit, whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. So if the DLC missions are like other heists, I'm kind of about that shit, because I'm like, I want that. So I mean, that's what I want to do if I want to play a bounty hunter.
Yeah, like, so basically what you just said, right? But outside of the context of this game, you just said, if I can get more of the game that I liked, then you'll pay for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
why wouldn't
I? That's just how DLC works. And I don't understand why people get so mad about it. If I like a game and a DLC pack comes out and I like the game and I thought it was a cool concept and the DLC looks cool, I'm gonna spend the money. And most people are. Most of the people that are bitching about this, if they love the game, they're gonna buy the DLC. So what is the problem, bro? Like,
I guess what it is like, I guess there's not a clear conception within, like, it's DLC and it says a mission, right? But what is that? What is a mission in particular?
Yeah, we don't know. We never know. Yeah, we never know what the DLC is going to be for most of these games. We never know what it's going to be.
Like, it could be a fetch quest. Like it could be.
Yeah, it could be horrible. It could be amazing. We never know.
Yeah. We don't know.
But, but that's if you want to buy the season pass early, that's the risk you take. Like, that's it. Or you could just wait. There's two sides of the fucking shit. Like, you either wait or you buy it. What's wrong with that? I don't get it, bro.
I don't get it. Nothing.
You literally lose nothing
by not paying and waiting, because it's not out yet. It's not going to be out on the game's release.
Gaming in general has just been so weird, man. Like, what happened to people just buying the shit that they want to play and just playing it and shutting the fuck up? What is going on? And then people were complaining about how the character looks and all this shit. Like, what the fuck? What is this, bro? What is gaming today? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Because the actress that's portraying the character looks way better than the character.
Yeah, but I didn't listen. Who the fuck knows what the actress looks like besides people on the internet? Do you think the millions of people that are gonna go out and buy this game care what the actress looks like? No. So, like, what the fuck? Oh, I don't get it, man. I didn't even know what she looked like, and I did not care. Like, I look at the main character, and I'm like, okay, it's a video game character. Like, hello? The fuck?
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, man. She don't even look that bad, bro. She just looks like a typical Ubisoft character design. Ubisoft has never been the best at their fucking character design. Like, hello?
I think that's what it is, that they're just not good at it, and the actress looks better, and it's just...
So why didn't we shit on GTA all these years?
You know?
When they've had some of the worst looking characters ever. Like, why didn't we shit on GTA?
People were just sucking them off for something else.
Because GTA just gets...
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So come on, bro.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm ready to bend my knees next year. Ready.
So,
like, come on, man.
If you pre-order this game and you're upset about it, cancel your pre-order. Sure, good.
Or you could just not pre-order like a smart person.
Just not pre-order. But even if you're not pre-ordering, you're not canceling, make sure you're not EA and reportedly canceling Dead Space 2 remake.
Why?
Because
they said the first game didn't sell well.
No, because they're working. Yeah, that was part of it. Apparently, it was because of sales of Dead Space Remake 1, but also that they're focusing on working on the next Battlefield and Iron Man game that they were dropping. It's mostly just because I think it's like sales. Like, it didn't do bad. Like Dead Space Remake didn't do poorly. I think it's a case of like it didn't meet expectations. It was just kind of like
when it comes to EA and Square Enix,
it's a failure.
Well, no, when it comes to EA and Square Enix, I don't care what they have to say about whether a game did good or not, because to them, if it didn't sell 10 million copies, it's a failure. So whatever they say, I don't know.
So so it was originally reported that that they were working on the next Dead Space, and then EA was like, nah, that's not what we do. And it then turns out that they did explore the idea of a Dead Space, but then because they called it like Project Motive or something like that. But EA, well, I guess Jason was a
I thought Motive was the Iron Man game.
Oh,
that was the project name for the Iron Man game. Okay, I could be.
I'm not sure. You could be right.
Yeah, it's not important. That's not important. Yeah.
But basically, he was just saying, because there was confusion, because there was someone like blah. No, they were working on it. They're just lying or whatever. And then Jason Schreier said, "Let me clear this up. Motive used the same code name to describe whatever project that the Dead Space team was working on next. Hence the confusion on his part. There was never really a Dead Space 2 remake." And for nearly a year, it had nothing to do with Dead Space. So whatever they're working on, it had nothing to do with Dead Space. Initially, they were thinking, should we? But I guess that's kind of a little bit of the mix-up. I just want to address that so you guys have the full picture of that, because there was a little bit of confusion in the beginning. EA was like, no, we didn't. No, there was no Dead Space coming, bro. There was nothing.
Yeah,
like,
anytime they do that, it's like, Yeah.
It makes them seem really shitty, because the guy's like, but the entire team was literally working on something. So what the fuck were they working on if it wasn't Dead Space, right? So, but apparently Jason Schreier just clarified, like, hey, they did initially were thinking about it, but whatever they're working on is completely different from it, and they've been working on that for like a year. So,
while that is a little disappointing, because I would have wanted to see a Dead Space 2 remake, we don't really need a Dead Space 2 remake. So stop crying. Let them make whatever they want to make, or whatever they got to make. We don't really need a remake of all these fucking games, man. If they're gonna do something, just make a new Dead Space. Call it a day, just make something new. Like, what's up with people? I don't want the Iron Man. I'd rather them work on a cool Iron Man game. That's what they got them doing, right? They're consolidating like all their shit to work on Battlefield, yikes, and fucking the Iron Man game. But like,
to me, the Battlefield aspect of it was the most concerning part of the story.
Yeah, that's what made it a little.
If they quote unquote, because they're not outright coming out saying that like they canceled a Dead Space 2 remake. They could potentially have been in the works of it. It could have been planned. And
then shelved.
It could be something that it's just shelved for the time being, and they'll work on it later. Because if they're not saying like if they've never announced it being in development, then it's not technically canceled, right?
Yep.
So people are just speculating at this point that they were working on it and that it was canceled. If that's the case, it's shitty, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's canceled.
Yeah, just assume that we never knew about it.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what they were gonna do. But just assume that we never knew about it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that like. To me, the biggest yikes about this whole thing is just kind of like, we're focusing on the next Battlefield. It's like,
that's like when Activision said we're gonna get rid of all these teams and make them work on COD, and it's like, no, bruh. Like, what the fuck? Especially COD, I can understand, because COD's still going, right? Battlefield, man, what the fuck happened to Battlefield, man? Get the fuck out of here. Work on something else.
Like, isn't that franchise just like bleeding out? Like,
pretty much at this point, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I can understand.
Don't ask the hardcore; they're in denial.
Man, the hardcore anything
2042 is good now.
Yeah, good now. Nobody cares now. Sorry, nobody cares about Battlefield now. Like, maybe when the next game comes out, they'll care again. But nobody cares about this game now. It launched terribly. Great, they fixed it. Cool. A game is never gonna fucking, I mean, there are games that, can succeed years later, but very rare that happens nowadays, where you can launch a game and it's shit and then it just recovers later. It's very rare. So anybody in denial saying that matters, that it's good now, who cares? The game died. The general perception of the franchise is pretty much negative at this point. So I don't know.
It's very negative, and most of their problems have been the game never usually works when
EA has that's like every EA game. Yep. Any multiplayer EA game. Remember the Sims? Remember how many Sims games launched and you couldn't play them? That's all I ever heard was the stories about how people just couldn't log on. People couldn't play the game. Every time.
Play the Sims. Yeah, every time the Sims launch, it's like, oh, we can't play the game when it launches. So many issues.
I don't know how. My mom was able to play the Sims, and she not a gamer, bro. She don't know anything.
Nah,
people
can't
love
play the Sims. The servers don't work. Every Sims launch, the servers just don't work. Some bullshit.
The originator of servers not working on launch is the Sims. That's just been happening with the Sims for years. It's just such a popular franchise, regardless. Mostly because they work on that shit pretty fast. Because people are really adamant about that shit. Like the Sims.
Yeah, there are people who don't play. No, there are people who don't play games, aka like my mom, who will play The Sims because it gets their interior design career that they never had going.
But they need to do that shit for Battlefield then, because that shit dead. Why are we still in this? And why are we still in this competing FPS space? That shit dead. Go make a battle royale or some shit like everybody else. Call it a day. Nobody cares about. I mean, let me not say nobody cares because Valorant exists, CS exists, these games exist, but it's very, very rare that like a Battlefield has never. I hate to say it, man, because the Battlefield diehards are a different breed, man. But Battlefield had its peak in terms of like mainstream. Battlefield peaked in 3-4. Since then, I don't know what the fuck happened, but they've been very inconsistent with their games. Let's say that. One's been good, one's been bad, one's been okay, one's been bad. Like they haven't been consistent at all in their releases. And yeah, to the hardcore Battlefield, yeah, I know they love that shit, but in terms of like mainstream audiences, nah. And that's what you need. Nowadays, that's what you need. You need sales, right? Like a hardcore audience for a game is not gonna equal profit. So
especially when Battlefield's the type of game where it's kind of like 30 people on 30 or 60 or whatever.
64 players.
A lot of numbers. Yeah, like you need a lot of people to play that on a constant level.
That was their downfall in my opinion, but hey, it is what it is. That was the appeal of it, but that appeal only lasts for a certain amount of time.
That appeal lasts if it works. That appeal lasts if matchmaking works. That appeal lasts if it's not a
It does. That appeal works if the core gameplay is good.
Yeah.
They started focusing more on the spectacle instead of the game. Like when they started talking about that Levolution stuff, all that crap, that's what started killing it for me. Like, I'm sorry. I was like, I still want the core gunplay and everything to be good. I don't care about fucking buildings falling. The same building falling every match. It's cool when you see it the first time, but then afterwards, it's like, okay, cool. I saw it 50 billion times already every match. That's old. Like, I don't know. Focus more on the core game. Make the core game good. But they had to try to differentiate themselves from Call of Duty. So, I don't blame them. Just good luck. I feel like EA is still playing that game. I feel like EA is still playing that competition with COD thing. When that's not the goal anymore. The goal is all these other shooters that are out that are fucking popular, like CS and Valorant and all this other shit. Like, but you can't make a Battlefield like style Valorant game. But the thing is, EA has Apex, right? So they succeeded on that front. So it's like just let Battlefield show for a little bit and then come back later with some heat. Like, stop forcing Battlefield onto us, man. Not working. It's clearly not working. The only reason why it works for COD is because COD just has that audience that just wants to just be fucking high as fuck, right? On a weekend, turn the game on and just talk shit, right? Because COD is just straight up like most of the time it's like casual people just fucking around on the game. Battlefield can get a bit hardcore, right? But the gameplay
sweaty. It's definitely sweaty.
Super sweaty.
Yeah, and then the casuals don't stay long for that kind of game. I feel like I don't know. Battlefield 4 says differently because Battlefield 4 is still played. So there's a reason for that.
What is it? Call of Duty tapped into the right demographic of drones. Of the 2K, of the FIFA, the FC, whatever it's called now.
Of the Mountain Dew Doritos.
The Madden.
Yeah.
Yearly release that are just going to get it every year because you get a new Call of Duty, bro. And like I was a huge fan of Battlefield over COD, and all of my friends in my circle thought I was crazy for believing so, but I was the one who knew how good Battlefield could be coming from Battlefield 2 on PC as opposed to the console space. So I was thinking, like, if they can have that gameplay that's in Battlefield 2 on PC on a console with Battlefield 3, then I was like, this game's going to be outrageous, it's going to be great. And people didn't buy into it like that. They didn't tap into that same casual fucking drone demographic that Call of Duty had success with, right? They tapped into their own demographic, but again, like what you said, things that they were doing too much when they should have just kept it simple and continued to appease their fans, and also to try and bring in new players with just having the gameplay be tight, having things work. Matchmaking is so important in games like that. You can hop into a COD match. Yeah, sometimes people complain about the matchmaking. Matchmaking sucks. But I could hit start and I'm in a match. And maybe
I'll be in the game and it'll be over. I'll shoot some heads and then it'll be over and then I'll move on to the next game. Yep.
In Battlefield, sometimes you got to look for player-hosted servers, dedicated servers. People want to navigate server menus. People want to hit quick play. They want to search. And they want to get into a match, and even if they want to get into that big ground war 64 32 versus 32 map, if there's enough people playing, those maps should populate super fast. I remember Battlefield 3 on launch, that was not an issue. The issue was loading.
Bro, Battlefield 4 4 or 5 years later was the problem.
Issues were loading, but like getting the players in was great, but you need to simplify that, make it good, right? Like it's just
the problem with Battlefield is it suffered that fate of trying to compete with COD instead of carving its own little, whatever out. But EA always does that shit. Well, I don't know about now, but before they always tried to do that shit, man. They would have like 50 different games out at the same time, all trying to do the same thing. They tried to put out Battlefield to compete to get the COD money, right? They tried to reboot Medal of Honor to get the COD money. That shit failed miserably. Like, they never got out of that era where they were just trying to catch up with COD. That's what it looks like. So I don't know, man. They were like, look at COD, bro. We made that same game but better, and they just never. I don't know. They made one game. Okay, they made two games, in my opinion. They made two games that almost did. That I thought they succeeded in their own right. They might not have sold as much as COD, but who cares? I thought they succeeded. I thought Battlefield 3 and 4 were fucking amazing. I like Battlefield 1. I thought that game was dope. People didn't like the World War One shit. Like people didn't like the World War One shit or whatever. But I thought Battlefield 1 was godlike, especially on PC. And then what was after that? No, it was Battlefield 4, then Battlefield 1, then Hardline.
No, it was Battlefield Hardline. Then
before 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hardline came out because Hardline was like an in between. They used the same engine and just did like a cops and robbers shit with Battlefield 4.
I feel like that game was what killed it.
Hardline definitely it was weird.
Because 4 had all that momentum, and then Hardline came out, and everybody was like, "This game sucks."
But 1 had that thing where everyone's like, "We don't want to go back to old guns. We don't want to go back to old warfare," right? But the game was solid.
But COD, World War One, sold fine, and everybody loves that game. So I don't know. I feel like people are just, if a game is good, I don't think people. I guess. I don't know, man. Battlefield audience has always been weird to me. Where like, there's always a problem. Every Battlefield game that launches, there's always some complaints every single time. Like there's no one game. Like I know people that hate Battlefield 3 and 4, and I'm like, I love those games. I know people that hate every single one of those games. They all hate. Like I don't know. Like Battlefield elitists are very elitist. So I don't know.
After Battlefield 1, they did Battlefield 5, which that got into trouble.
I heard that was mid too.
It was mid because it had a lot of cheaters. And then,
was that the one that had the battle royale in it?
Yes, that was the one where they were focused on having a battle royale to compete with Warzone.
And the regular multiplayer didn't work. Yeah.
Yep. And they had so many cheaters. So many cheaters. The games were just like not fun. Like you would go into a regular game and just be stomped because it's just cheaters all over the place for Battlefield.
I remember seeing 5. YouTube thumbnails about fucking Battlefield 5 cheated all over the place. And them not getting banned. They didn't have an anti-cheat or some shit, right? They had like no anti-cheat in the game.
They had anti-cheat, it just didn't work.
Oh, okay.
It was worse than fucking Raven now.
That shit was crazy. because I feel like Apex took off, and EA, you know how EA is, man. They have one thing to take off, they're gonna milk it to death. They're gonna ignore everything else. Activision too.
I mean, wasn't Apex originally just supposed to be like a presentation, like an idea? It wasn't even supposed to be what it was.
I don't think so. I don't know. I remember Apex. Apex was just supposed to be Overwatch was supposed to be something like Overwatch, but I mean, it technically is. It's still a hero. It's a hero, quote unquote, shooter. It's just a hero like battle royale. It's just a different structure of game, right? Mm-hmm. But Apex, I feel like, is a result of the Overwatch era and everything trying to compete with that. But who knows, man? There's always that one series, right? That's out at the time, that's popular, and everybody got to get a piece of the fucking pie, man. It's unfortunate that some series just have to fucking go through that and then end up fucking just getting sucked dry like Battlefield. If they just kept making games like Battlefield 3 and 4, man, I think that shit would still be godlike right now. And apparently, 2024. Well, obviously, what is it? 2042? I don't know what it is now.
Yeah, 2042.
Apparently, that's what that game was. It just launched like shit. And we know this day and age, you can't have a game launch like ass. Or it's gonna get memed to hell.
Game.
Yeah, it's gonna get memed to hell. People are gonna drop it, and then what's gonna happen? You start the fucking queue time start going up because no one's playing it, and then the game's dead.
Well, it launched like shit, and they also didn't listen to their hardcore player base because they were just saying like, listen, this whole hero class or operators.
Oh yeah,
they had the whole operator thing. That was just like, this is stupid. Don't have things like relegated by that, and they were not turning around on it. And then when they finally made the decision to go back on that, but that was months later. And by that time,
Battlefield just a tech showcase now.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefield basically just a tech showcase for NVIDIA now or whatever new fucking shit is out. Sorry, like unfortunately.
It's not even that good because recently the gunplay just doesn't feel that tight at all.
That's what I mean. That's always been my issue with post Battlefield 4 Battlefield.
Yep.
Is that they started focusing on bullshit. They started focusing on bullshit instead of the gunplay.
Ass.
Yep. I used to love how satisfying the fucking gunplay was in 4. Like, I don't know, whatever, dude.
Well,
I'm about to go download Battlefield 4 right now.
I feel like we always say that. We play it like one night and then that's it. It's over.
Yeah. We take like 8 years trying to find the fucking shit. Yep. Find the game.
And once the player base disappears, then you have a situation like Foamstars is having. 95% of their player base is now gone, as indicated by PlayStation Trophies. I think it was that posted it. Let me just double check here. Yeah, PlayStation. According to PlayStation True Trophies data, now Foamstars has lost almost 95% of its player base. Has there been any support of this game post-launch? Any announcements? Any advertisements? Anything?
I didn't hear.
They have like I don't know. I see like very weird. I feel like tweets here and there.
But you gotta do more than tweets nowadays.
I don't know, bro. Like, I just feel like it's Square, man. And I called this shit last year.
You did?
When I played the beta. I was like, this game is super fucking fun, but it's Square. They're not gonna market it properly. It's probably gonna be the servers are probably gonna suck. If there's problems, they're probably gonna go unfixed. Square doesn't give a fuck about these kinds of games. I don't know why they keep doing this shit, man. Because that game, I thought the game was super fun when I played that beta. There were glaring issues, but I was like, okay, it could be fixed up, whatever. But hey, I'm not surprised. Can't say I'm surprised. Square, typical. And then it's a free-to-play game, so monetization being shit, of course, right? But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunate. It's a shame, but like having it be Square and having like games like that need support and need to be updated quickly. And I just feel like if your development team is not ready to like have, they should already have shit already locked in for like the next 3-4 months. you know what I mean? Like you should have the game, and then whatever content you have.
Apparently there was no single player. It was like the single player shit was ass, but I'm like, I don't expect single player stuff to be in the game like that. But obviously some people do. But the thing is, you You launch your free. This is the same thing I have. This is the same thing I'm gonna say about this Marvel rival shit. The game comes out, and it's free to play. If the monetization is fucking like all up in your face and trash, the game is DOA. Like it's over. It might last a year, like Gundam Evolution did. They're gonna get some money out of people, and the servers are gonna shut down. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, it's a Marvel. We all know it's a Marvel game. It's probably gonna do more than that. But Foamstars is a new IP. Nobody knows what the fuck it is, right? You just kill your game. You just set your game out to die. When you fucking add all this bullshit monetization, right? Yeah, it was free on PlayStation Plus or whatever. Wait a minute. Now that I think about it, how much was the game? Was the game actually fucking? Hold up.
Free on PS Plus, but I don't know if it cost anything.
It's a $30 game.
I don't know. It's a $30 game, so it wasn't free to play for the general.
Foamstars will be available to purchase for $30 on March 5th. Okay, so it was okay. That was last month.
It was only free for PS Plus.
Yeah, let's charge for a game.
So you've launched a game that wasn't free to play. It was only free to play for PS Plus. So you got your money from PlayStation to launch the game free to play, basically. You have no
sound familiar?
Yeah, you have no post-release content. You have no. I mean, as far as I know, I haven't looked into it, but I haven't heard anything. There's no promotion.
I haven't heard
in this
anything.
game. Like a game that's a new IP like this, you need to have supreme promotion. Even a game like you talked about Marvel Rivals, but like, yeah, I bring up this game a lot because this is how the devs did it right. You look at a game like Marvel Snap. Even to this day, they have advertisements out the ass. There are so many YouTube ads of Marvel Snap that just populates every time you load up a video. It loads up on my feed when I'm not watching a Marvel Snap video constantly. Yeah. So I know that their advertisement, when they initially launched the game too, I saw it all over Twitter.
Yeah, I see that shit all the time.
That's attached to a Marvel IP, right? Even like
2-year-old game, by the way.
A 2-year-old game, and they have the budget to do that, but you need to allocate that budget to understand that advertisement is important, especially for a game that has this is a new IP, like no one knows about this. This is a new developing IP. All people know about this game is like, oh, this is Splatoon for PS5.
Yep, basically.
Right?
Which is not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea at all. But Square doesn't believe in it. They just sent it out to die.
Yep, which is what they do a lot, and it's crazy because it's like, remember back in the day, or putting something on PlayStation Plus was like, oh man, it might do well now. It's on PS Plus, everybody's gonna play it. And then this generation, it's like they do it. It's like Sony knows this now, and the companies know this now. So now they put the games on PS Plus, assuming people are gonna play because it's free. And then they start adding bullshit and start being bullshit with people, right? Remember PlayStation All Stars, bro? Was it All Stars? Was it PlayStation? No, not PlayStation All Stars.
No.
What was the name of the game? What was the name of that game, bro? You know what I'm talking about, Freak? The game we played, Destruction All Stars. That's what it was. Destruction All Stars, bro. That game that came out like a few months after PS5 launched, and
I don't even want to talk.
We were all hype as fuck for that. I was hype as shit. Played it. It was fun as hell, right? Mm-hmm. It was free on PS Plus. Played this shit. Played the fuck out of it. Then they started rotating. They started charging you for shit. Fucking random ass monetization shit would just pop up on the screen like months later. And then fucking what else? They started removing shit. They started removing game modes, removing like content from the game. Like, what the fuck? They were like, oh man, it's free. Everybody gonna play it anyway, so let's just do whatever we want. Like, whatever, man. When something's on PS Plus now, it's like they're sending it out to die now, basically.
And literally, that's when everyone left, by the way, because it was just like, nah, this is bullshit. And man. And then Square hasn't even done any better with their monetizations. I mean, we remember that Chocobo Racer game.
Oh my god, but that was a terrible game off rip. Like
but even if it wasn't, the monetization.
True.
Yeah, they wanted to get some kids with that.
But but this game had, as far as I
know, it had
potential. No gameplay issues, no blaring. The style
in itself was very unique compared to Splatoon. Like, he was used. The gameplay similar, but it was very it knew what it wanted to do aesthetically. It knew it had its own like aesthetic and shit, and it was a cool looking game. But I don't know, man. I guess it's also kind of the different audience, right? I feel like a game like that would thrive on a Switch or some shit like that. Sony motherfuckers, man. I hate to say it, bro, because I love Sony. I love PlayStation, but Sony motherfuckers nowadays is just very like. This is gonna be. You gonna get hate for this one? I don't give a fuck. But console gamers nowadays are so weird. Like this cult thing where it's like, it's either The Last of Us. It's like God of War, The Last of Us, and Horizon, right? Yep. Or whatever Sony's pushing down your throats. If it's not those games, they don't care. If it's not some AAA crazy looking hyper realistic shit, they don't care. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's the audience that Sony has kind of cultivated over the past couple years. And I don't like it. I'm not a fan. Like, you get the drones on Twitter that are like, all I own at PlayStation 4 is The Last of Us. All I play is Naughty Dog games. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know.
It's like that tweet when I tweeted about the PlayStation state of play that they had.
Oh yeah, and the guy said it was trash.
Yeah, and I was like, well,
because it was no Naughty Dog games.
I was like, they already announced like what they were talking about, like, and I was like, how would you be disappointed when you were going into knowing what they were talking about? Oh, they didn't show anything Naughty Dog.
I only play Naughty Dog games.
I'm like, gotcha. You only want Naughty Dog. Moving on. Right, like,
I don't know, man.
I just don't understand it, dude. I just want to play good games. I don't care where they're from.
Exactly.
Which is why I will always love Nintendo. Sorry, I'm gonna always love the Switch. Switch 2, I'm buy that shit day one. I'm probably gonna play that shit more than my PS5 and whatever the fuck else I got. So, whatever, man. At least I know on there I can get games like Unicorn Overlord. Yeah, you can get that on PS, but let's be real. Games like that, I would expect more to play on a motherfucking Switch. I expect games like that on the Switch. I expect games like Octopath Traveler, Triangle Strategy, and shit like Fire Emblem and shit like that on the Switch, right? I expect little games like that, or like a Splatoon type games like Foamstars and shit like that. I guarantee you Foamstars would have been godlike on the Switch, bro. Guaranteed. But hey.
Was Foamstars released on PC or was it just PS5?
No, only PS5.
No.
Also, releasing a new IP as a console exclusive is actually silly.
Yeah.
I think it's a simultaneous release. But maybe Sony paid for that exclusivity.
Yeah, of course they did.
Who knows?
Yeah, hope it was worth it. Yeah. Hope they got their money. Hope it was worth it.
Yeah, because Square wasn't going to follow up.
Yep.
It's just so
that's
sad.
why gaming nowadays is like, ew, man. Like, what the fuck do y'all play? Do y'all even play games, man? Y'all just play movies. Y'all don't even care about playing video games. Y'all just want to play the same 3 types of games over and over and over again. And then go online and act like you're a fucking seasoned gamer. Like you know, you're everything you say is correct. Like, you motherfuckers don't even play shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Half of the people complaining about half of these games that come out don't play the games. They don't even know shit about the games. Like, so many people saw this game and were like, what is this fucking, why is this colorful fucking kid looking shit? And I'm like, do y'all even have fun playing games? Like, the game is fun. Who the fuck cares if it's colorful and all other shit? Like, what the fuck? Did y'all motherfuckers never play Mario and fucking Crash Bet and Smash and Kirby and all this other shit? Nigga, all these games are colorful, bro. Now I'm getting mad. Like, I'm getting annoyed. Like,
and then not only that, but it's not like the art's good. Like, it's a direction.
You know what that takes me back to, bro? That takes me back to when Wind Waker came out and everybody said, I don't want to play this cartoony looking shit. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, bro.
I definitely was one of those people who said that shit.
And I thought that was lame. I'm like, do y'all play video games or do y'all play fucking, like, I don't understand. Like, if a game looks good, a game looks good. Like, gives a fuck about the way it looks.
Well, my shit was that at the time, they were promising us the fucking whatever, the sequel, right?
Yeah, and Nintendo kind of set people up for that one.
Yeah, they kind of set me up.
Yeah, but I don't think the majority of people even, because let's be real, they did that because the people that saw the E3 trailer previously thought that, which was very minor. Back in the day, that was a minority of people, bro. Nobody even gave a fuck about no E3 presentations or trailers back in the day.
Well, so I'm just saying I was one of them.
Yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm talking about the majority of people. I'm not talking about like very specific niche audiences. I'm talking about most people that saw that game are like, this looks too cartoony, blah blah blah. And I'm like, great, you're an idiot. Go miss out on a good game because it looks cartoony. Excellent. Like, I wish. I wonder what would have happened if I didn't play Jet Set Radio because it looked too cartoony. Like I would have missed out on one of my favorite games of all time. Like that's crazy to me. Like that's such a lame. Like I want to be an adult, but I'm too stupid to know what being an adult means. Like, you know what I mean? Like I want to act like I'm more mature than I am, so I don't want to play this cartoony shit. Like shut the fuck up, man. Play a good game and have fun. The fuck out.
That's like those people who go to a dance club and then they just sit down and don't dance. It's just like,
yeah, like who do I look like being? I don't want to be a grown ass man dancing. No,
you're an idiot. Bro, like why the fuck? Like why the fuck are you there?
Get out of here, fucking losers. Like, good. You miss out on having fun. Great. Right. We don't need you. Know I'll have fun over there.
What's funny is the people who are dancing are the ones getting on the girls.
Yeah. Like, what's going on? I used to love that shit. I used to get that shit all the time.
All standing in the wall, pretending to be cool.
Bro. What you moving around like that? If I'm like, damn, well, ask your girl if she think I'm gay or some whatever the fuck you thinking. Why don't you ask your girl that same question? Dumbasses. Like I don't know, man. Like I'll never understand the audience for. Well, I don't even want to say the audience because these people have always been there. They just haven't been. There hasn't been this many of them. Now it's obviously since gaming went mainstream. These are the kind of people you get. You get the people that just look at the game and say, "Oh, that's too cartoony. That shit look corny. That shit look lame." Blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, great.
Yeah, but then when you ask those same people, all right, well then, what do you like?
COD, NBA 2K, Last of Us, God of War. Which I'm not discrediting the game's quality. I'm just saying it's the same type of hyper realistic bland.
But it doesn't feel like it's their opinion. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't
exactly.
Feel like
it feels very manufactured.
Like it's regurgitated. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
it's not even that. It feels like that shit was fed to them. Like Sony, like they market this bullshit to you, right? They market this bullshit to you, and then you either become a drone and you start feeding into that shit, or you just maintain your fucking individuality and you just play whatever you like. Like I'm not saying Last of Us and Uncharted and all those and God of War. I love those fucking shits, right? But there's a place. Shut up. There's a. You already know. You already know.
We already know.
Let's put The Last of Us at the bottom of those games that I just mentioned.
Thank you. Yes.
But regardless, like I'm still gonna enjoy fucking a Mario game that's gonna come out, right? A Zelda game that's gonna come out. I'll play Splatoon, right? But I'll also play God of War. I'll play Uncharted. I'll play 2K. But then I'll also play fucking like Ori in the fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll play wild like random shit. So I don't understand. Oh man, gamers are not gamers nowadays. Gamers are just what's the word? It's I forget. There's a word for it. I just forgot what it is. But I don't know. I'm gonna just call people normies because that's what it is. Like
normie gaming.
People don't like games, man. They just like being cool and being part of what's cool, man. Because before gaming was mainstream, these motherfuckers was the ones that was saying, "Oh, this shit is for fucking kids. This is lame." Most of these motherfuckers didn't even care about gaming until it was cool. So most of these opinions that I see on Twitter or anywhere else, I just be like, "Okay, whatever. Let's see I wonder what they play." That's the first thing I ask. Like, I wonder what kind of games they play. And it'll be the same shit. They'll be like, it'll be generic battle royale number 2, like PUBG, Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? It's always Fortnite. Like Fortnite, fucking Apex, Warzone. It's always the same shit, man. Always the same shit. But whatever, man. I'm always just enjoying my shit. It's unfortunate, but we live in an age where the only way. Actually, no, I can't say that these games don't succeed because there are a lot of games that come out like indie games and stuff like that, right? That succeed through word of mouth, right? But it's a shame that a lot of these games can't just come out and thrive on their own. People need to be told that this game looks cool because they're drones, right? People need to be told to play this game. It looks cool. But whatever. That's that drone mentality. Oh wait, do my friends think it's cool? Oh, they don't think it's cool? All right, well, I ain't gonna play that. That's the whole shit. You know how many people, look, when I was growing up, I don't want to say when I was growing up, when the 360 era was when I kind of, the 360 and the PS3 era was when I kind of really came to terms with the shit that I liked. And I didn't really care about what other people said or talked about, right? Because I would be the one in the Xbox Live party playing like Bayonetta and like Tales of Vesperia and shit, right? Eternal Sonata, all these random ass games, and people would be in the chat playing COD and Halo, and they'd be like, "What the fuck is this guy playing, bro? Get on COD, man. Get your ass on COD. Get off of that weird shit." And then like a year later, I'd be like, a year later, they'd be like, "Yo, man, I saw you playing that band, and I finally played that shit. That shit is fire. I'm like, oh yeah, it's fire now. Now it's fire. Like, the fuck out of here.
It's fire
hate that
now,
shit, dude.
huh?
Yeah, now it's fire. Yeah. Like, the fuck out.
So
of here.
do you just give him a side smile?
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, it's fire. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love that shit. Yo, that Tales of Vesperia, bro. Oh man, that game is crazy. Oh, huh. Wow. Okay. Oh, yeah. Excellent. Thank you for validating me. I love it.
Well, hopefully Square could be more mindful in the future, but they're not. They're not.
Okay.
This just falls under the typical Square pattern of release a game, don't support it, claim it was a failure, so you're not.
Hopefully that was the last relic
it didn't meet
of the Square before.
Sorry, it didn't meet expectations.
Yeah, hopefully that was the last relic because, Square now, they got rid of all the fucking Western studios or whatever. They just, hopefully they're just back to whatever they're good at, man. I just want to see Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, and Kingdom Hearts from them. Or whatever other RPGs they're good at making, Octopaths and Triangle Strats and all that shit, right? Make the good shit. I don't give a fuck about all this random stuff Square does, because Square has always proven that they're not good at trying to make new shit. They're not good at making new shit. They're good at making what they're good at making. And when they try something new, it's rough sometimes.
Well, so even they did make something worth it, they don't support it, so there's no point.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I do want that era back where I look at a game and I see the Square Enix logo and I'm like, oh shit, gotta play that. But whatever. Maybe one day. Now it's Capcom. Now Capcom is like, oh, Capcom is back. I'm like, oh shit, Capcom doing it? All right, cool. Let me see what they got going on. But hey, whatever. Everybody has their moments. FF7 Rebirth is godlike, right? Hopefully Kingdom Hearts 4 is good. 16 was good. Dawn Trail comes out in 2 months, right? So it's not like they're doing bad.
Yeah, so, man. Whatever. Give me those PC releases.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll see 16 releasing
FF16
before the end of the year.
On PC, probably before the end of the year, and then they're pushing more.
I'd say fall, because they don't want to have anything with Dawn Trail out, so it's probably gonna be in the fall. But whatever. Unfortunate. Y'all game need to start using your brains, man. Start playing shit. Stop being drones. Weirdos.
Try something new instead of booting up Warzone for the 100th time, 1,000th.
Yeah, I remember the memes that came out when Baldur's Gate was getting Game of the Year, and they were just showing it side. They were like, "Yo, this is gameplay to y'all," or whatever the fuck, and then they fucking compare it with like Spider-Man. I'm like, oh, so weird, man.
People are just hating. It's just weird because if all you play and all you support, those were like the Sony fanboys, right? Because
it's always fanboys.
It's always the fanboys, right? If all you support is PlayStation, right? It's like Baldur's Gate 3 released on PlayStation too, right? And it's just like it wasn't an exclusive. Yeah, it won tons of awards, but then you're like mad because Spider-Man 2 didn't win and that was your favorite game of the year. Sure, like great game. I love it.
Well, the only game you played, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
great game. That's the only game that you played, and you're like, oh, it's better than another game. You really
as
don't
a gamer, if you can't appreciate why another game is getting Game of the Year, then you should just be quiet. You should just play whatever you like and just shut up. Your opinion is meaningless because you don't value video games as a whole. Which is fine. You don't have to.
Should have stayed in the drafts, man.
Like, should have stayed in the drafts. You don't have to value video games as a whole. Just shut up. Yeah.
Which is more, you should be going more like, oh, that game's Game of the Year. I wonder why it is. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, every time I hear people say, oh, this might be a Game of the Year nominee, I'll be like, oh, gotta play that. Let me try that. Right? I don't be like, man, but what about my game? Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
You don't?
My favorite game of the year.
Like the game loves you, bro. Like
you're getting you're gonna get a fucking share of that fucking profit or some shit if your game gets Game of the Year. Shut the fuck up, bro. Get the hell out of here. Weirdos. Yeah, these people, that's always been the problem. These people act like these companies are paying them or some shit like that to have an opinion. They don't give a fuck about your asses. They sit in the office laughing at y'all because y'all just y'all buying their shit mindlessly. Like, they just like, yeah, keep talking our shit up. Yeah, keep doing that. The more people buy it, dumbasses. That's literally the definition of a fucking drone. They will let these companies just use them. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
What were you saying, Freak?
I was gonna say it's just interesting to note that I feel that the times when I've grown more as a gamer was taking that route of, instead of hating on what one game of the year instead of my favorite game, was saying like, let me play that and see
why don't you fucking
why
try it?
why it won game of the year. And that
Or at
that
least
was when
find some info about it. Don't just fucking dismiss this shit and be like, this shit look trash.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
And that was when I started to grow as a gamer, much like you guys can continue to grow as listeners and continue to hit that like, hit that subscribe, keep
something about to grow when I play this Stellar Blade in a couple weeks.
Oh, by the wait. Since you brought that up, Stellar Blade, apparently there was a report that was like over 1 million people played that demo or whatever, and it's reported to sell.
Wonder why.
To make like $4 million in sales. We'll see if it happens, but I'm just saying, developing.
Yeah, people gonna play that shit. People gonna play it, bro. It's Nier all over again.
Maybe make curvy characters in your games again.
It's Nier Automata all over again, bro.
Yep. It's gonna be a good game. Looking forward to it. And yeah, just check it out. Try and always. I feel like I'm always ending the podcast with try new things, bro. Like broaden your horizons. Try something else. Don't be a drone.
Stop being drones. These companies don't care about you.
Be a drone to us. Hit like, subscribe. Listen on Spotify.
Comment.
And if you listen on Spotify, listen on iTunes. Watch it on YouTube. Let it run in the background. Yeah. Watch the shorts. Watch the clips. And then
keep posting comments.
Leave a nasty comment to Despair on TikTok. He's gonna
please.
He's gonna comment back to you. But
yes,
be sure to check it out, and we'll check you guys out next week. We're gonna keep coming back with more episodes of Kangz Council, and we will see you then. I hate when I hit the button and it doesn't fucking work.